Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another reaction video, and I have some software which is making it a lot easier and better, and I'm just trying it out this morning. So we're going to be reacting to Meditation, Religion and God by none other than the guru, the atheist guru of spirituality, Ben Stiller, Sam Harris. Yuval Noah Harari as well. As you guys know, he wrote that book Sapiens, which really popularized the idea of the history of human evolution and whatnot. Anyway, this video is like 18 minutes. I'm not going to react to all of it, but literally in the first minute, there was something that was so funny that I was like, I need to react to this. To make this video more bearable for me, because I'm watching this, I don't know, I tried to film twice before or something like this. Anyway, I'm going to play it for you guys and let you guys do the sort of analyzing.
Vipassana retreat, and I learned Vipassana meditation from a teacher called S.N. Goenka, and it completely blew my mind and changed my life. And ever since that first course, I do 2 hours of Vipassana meditation every day. I usually start my workday with 1 hour of meditation, and I finish it with another hour of meditation. And every year, like my yearly vacation, is to go for a long retreat of between 30 and 60 days of just meditation in complete silence, no emails, no computers, no books, no reading, writing, nothing, just meditating.
Oh, that's wonderful. I am envious. Do you have kids?
No, just dogs. Explains a lot.
That explains your freedom. Yeah, that's really wonderful. So just to give people a clearer picture of what you're up to there. So Goenka is a very famous Vipassana teacher. There are 2 strands of Vipassana that have been very influential, particularly in the West, among all the Westerners who in the 60s discovered this practice. And they both come out of Burma. And Goenka's is one line coming from a teacher named U Ba Khin, and there was another line that came from a teacher named Mahasi Sayadaw. And so all of the Vipassana practice I've done on retreat has come from the Mahasi Sayadaw line, which teaches the same kind of mindfulness, but it's a different sort of practice.
I mean, I think the technical details are less important. The key is just...
All right, do you know what? I'll let you guys watch this, yeah? It's going to go on. But I love the way that you were just like, look, forget the technical details. Let's talk about the sort of effects of it. So what's going on here? Sapiens was a bestseller. It was something which even President Obama spoke about, and all over the world, as you guys know. And the author of Sapiens, who's supposed to have popularized this idea of human evolution and anthropology and whatnot, he doesn't have any kids. Instead, he has dogs. And he spends his time meditating, and sometimes a whole chunk of the year meditating. So his behavior is totally out of line with natural selection, which is the very idea, which is the core of Darwinian evolution, which is what the book is based upon. I just found this so moronic, ironic. How does that make any sense? How do you expect people to take natural selection seriously when the spokesman of natural selection and another prominent atheist, they're talking about stuff which is like irrelevant, totally irrelevant. Look, natural selection works like this, right? Natural selection, you got to think of like a strict head teacher. So there is a trait which is slightly, incrementally beneficial. Here you go, you have a reward. That's what the head teacher does. There is a trait which is slightly detrimental. The natural selection whip comes out and the head teacher just smacks it. Why? Because for natural selection to work on random mutations, you need to have this very clear mechanism going on, which is creating biodiversity through strict pressure. There is this constant pressure which is actually leading to human competition, which is leading to animal competition, which is leading to environment change and animals adapting to the environment. So that's the crux of natural selection. Now, if there are organisms like Yuval Noah Harari and Sam Harris, natural selection should have just whipped them out of existence, because they're not really doing stuff to help their survival and reproduction. They're rather doing something not that important from a fitness perspective. But this isn't just them. This isn't just these poor chaps, right? Throughout human history, mankind has been obsessed with finding out what is the true nature of things. Why do we exist? What is the purpose of life? Do we have a meaning? Do we have a purpose? Do we have a value? What is morality? What is ethics? What is civilization? What is going to happen after we die? These things are extremely important throughout history, from the ancient Greeks. Well, I shouldn't really say the ancient Greeks. That's become too much of a cliche. Let's start off with the ancient people of India, the ancient people of Indus Valley, who have a great history of philosophy and thinking and mathematics and whatnot. So from their time all the way to the present day, we have this incredible tradition of worrying about things greater than us, things greater than survival and reproduction. Look at the people we look up to, like Isaac Newton, right? Guy has no children, but he's trying to find out the true nature of things. So how does the universe actually work? So natural selection, if it doesn't explain our behavior right now, what on earth makes you think that it was working in the past and it actually created what we are today? If our behavior today is totally out of line with what natural selection would have actually favored. So I wanted to use an argument that atheists use against theists, but actually use it against natural selection. So here's how it goes. A standard reaction that atheists have when you give them the design argument, you give them the watch or piece of pottery or something, and you say, look, this piece of pottery, this watch, this thing is designed. They say, well, that's you're using the wrong frame of reference here, because in terms of a clay pot, we can see human beings have designed it. We can see a watch being made in a factory. But when you talk about man and the universe and these types of things, we didn't see God actually make it, therefore we can't use that argument. So firstly, it's a very poor argument. Simply, look, there's a counterfactual, if you like. Somebody goes to a distant, far-off planet and they start digging and they come across, wow, there's this thing with buttons and some quite sophisticated thing here. They're not going to say, well, I didn't see the Martians actually design this, therefore it just came by itself. No, it'll be quite valid that, oh, right, this thing, it has, this circuit, it has this thing, it has that thing. I didn't see the aliens make it, but yeah, this definitely looks designed. But anyway, I wanted to use that poor contention and pretend that contention is good and use it against them. Who saw natural selection creating human beings? Who saw natural selection taking the monad to the man, or any simple, very basic, simple organism and taking it into a multicellular sort of body? Who's seen that? No one's seen that. So if you're going to use this contention against us, the contention is going to work perfectly against you. Now, clearly, you're not going to accept that. You're going to say, no, we need to go back with what we have. We need to make an inference from what we have. We can't see the past. We can't see natural selection working, so we can't use that as evidence. And by the way, if some atheists here, they're going to be like, oh yeah, we have because of the peppered moth, then please go back a few weeks and, that prize horse of yours was whipped as well. No, we don't have examples of that. We don't have examples of natural selection in front of our eyes creating biodiversity. And we wouldn't expect, a biologist wouldn't expect to see that, because you need eons for that to actually happen. So that poor contention actually works against you if that contention was good, the contention that you use against the design argument. However, here's the funny thing. It's not symmetrical. It's not the case that there is a contention that you use against us and we can use it against you. Here's what's going on. Even if we weren't to use that contention, natural selection isn't doing something now to humans which you claim it was doing in the past. So you're actually in a far worse position than us, because human behavior that we have actually observed has been very much non-Darwinian. There's been lots of aspects of our behavior which has been non-Darwinian. Now, when you guys latch on to something that clearly is for our, for our fitness benefit, right? So when we do want to have children, when we do want to actually have competition and gain food, that's when you're like, wow, natural selection, that's it there. And you try and explain many different types of behaviors by invoking natural selection. Then, by the same token, you need to appreciate natural selection has to be falsifiable in some way. Now, I understand falsification is out of date, and we're with scientific holism and whatnot. However, not falsified from the perspective that we're going to throw the theory out, but falsified from the perspective of being testable. It needs to be testable. How you can't just look at behavior which is totally non-Darwinian and say, that's just a byproduct. Because then we're not really having a conversation. You're just giving a metaphysical. You're just making a metaphysical claim rather than making an empirical claim that we can actually test. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can watch the rest of the 17 minutes or 16 and a half minutes, whatever's left. And yeah, give me your thoughts about atheist spirituality. Does it fit in line with the fitrah? Does this sound familiar to you, atheists? Remember this thing that we've been saying for many years, that human beings, we deeply, innately are spiritual, and we're not just there for survival and reproduction. Remember that thing that we kept saying? And now your movement is moving towards that kind of thing. Isn't that interesting? Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and assalamu alaikum.